In this lecture class, we are going to learn about the free space propagation model. So before going to see about the free space propagation model, we can just go through some basic concepts with regard to that. And here we know that when a mobile is moving in a particular cell region, the signal coming from the transmitter antenna, that is from the base station towards the mobile, that will be getting affected by some propagation effects. So this we say maybe because of diffraction, scattering, so like that, or reflection. So when a mobile is having a clear line of sight path from the base station, then we can say that diffraction and scattering things cannot happen there. Or we can say that if a mobile is at a place without the line of sight, that is from the transmitter antenna, then it will undergo diffraction and scattering. So this is normally happening in the propagation systems. And we know that based on the location of the mobile inside a cell region, we can able to predict the received signal upon the distance of separation between the transmitter and the receiver. So here we say that one of the things is called small scale fading. So small scale fading happens when the receiver is at a short distance from the transmitter, but even in that spot the received signal will be getting slightly fluctuated, and we can able to estimate the signal power, and we can able to observe that certain changes will be there because of noise will be getting affected. So this we see as one of the obstacle for this. And here this one we can able to say with the Rayleigh fading, because Rayleigh fading, it deals with there is no line of sight path available between the transmitter and the receiver. And also we can say in the small scale fading, the received signal power may change by 3 to 4 orders of the magnitude in the range of 30 to 40 decibel. And more in this, we also have to know about large scale propagation and path loss. So at a long distance from the transmitter antenna, when the signal is undergoing some kind of fading or some obstacle, then it will undergo large scale path loss. So based on this, we can able to predict the signal strength at a particular distance from the transmitter. So here we can say the model that predict the signal strength for an arbitrary receiver transmitter separation distance are called by the term large scale propagation model. So this is a graph. You can observe that there is because showing the small scale and large scale. So as we say that this is a transmitter side, this can be the receiver side. So we can say transmitter to receiver separation. So when this distance is keep on going, then normally attenuation will happen. So attenuation means loss of signal. So signal loss is called attenuation. So at short distance we can expect small scale fading. At long distances from the transmitter we can observe large scale fading. And the free space propagation model is used to predict the signal strength at a long distance from the transmitter, but here specifically we say that line of sight path is exists between the transmitter and the receiver. Next we need to know what is meant by path loss. Path loss is the signal attenuation measured in decibel, and there is between the transmitter and the receiver. The generalized expression for the free space propagation model have been defined by Fry's equation. There is a Fry's free space equation, or we can call as Fry's transmission equation. PRFD is equal to PTGT lambda square divided by 4 pi the whole square d square L. So here we can say the received power at a distance of small d from the transmitting antenna. So PT for the transmitter power, then GT, GR, both are transmitter antenna gain and receiver antenna gain. Then lambda is the wavelength we measure in meters. Then d square L, that means square of the distance, it is from the transmitter location. Then L is the system loss factor. So the system loss factor is considers the value L equal to 1. Next what you have is the gain of the antenna. This we can written as G equal to 4 pi AE by lambda square. A is the antenna aperture. So lambda for the wavelength. And the effective aperture of AE is related to the physical size of the antenna. Then lambda can be related with the carrier frequency. So lambda equal to C by F, and which can be written as 2 pi C by omega C, where omega C is the carrier frequency in radians. And C, which we consider as the speed of light in these calculations. Now, what is meant by the isotropic radiator? So it is an one antenna which radiates power uniformly in all directions. So that kind of radiating antenna is called an isotropic radiator. So the effective isotropic radiating power can be written as ARP is equal to PT into GT. And we can able to measure the units of gain, antenna gain. So dBi means isotropic, respect to isotropic antenna. And dBd means we can say that is with respect to dipole antenna. Then for measuring the path loss in the free space model, when antenna gains are included, we can say PL of dB is equal to 10 log PT by PR equal to minus 10 log GT GR lambda square divided by 4 pi the whole square d square. And the same expression for the path loss if antenna gains are excluded, but considering the gain of the antenna is unity. So PL of dB equal to minus 10 log lambda square divided by 4 pi the whole square d square, because here GT and GR value takes on 1. Then for the Fry's equation to consider, always the distance small t should be in the far field region of the transmitting antenna. So the far field distance of the Fraunhofer distance of the transmitting antenna can be defined as the region beyond the far field distance, so that we can write this as df equal to 2d square by lambda. So this capital D is the largest dimension of the antenna, and lambda is the wavelength in meters. Here what we have to consider is that df, that is a Fraunhofer distance, should be greater than the dimension of the antenna, also the greater than the wavelength. So these two things we need to consider. Then for this reason we can model the signal strength at a distance of d naught as a reference point. So we can say that d naught should be greater than or equal to df, and d naught should be smaller than any practical distance that the mobile exists from the transmitting antenna. Then finally, the power received in the free space at a distance greater than d naught can be written as PR of d is equal to PR of d naught at d naught by d square. Here the condition is d naught should lies between d and df. D is the distance of separation between the transmitting and receiving antennas, and this df is the Fraunhofer distance. Then expressing the received power in milliwatt and watt decibel. So we can able to write the same expression in two form. One is PR of d at dBm equal to 10 log PR of d naught divided by 0.001 watt plus 20 log d naught by d. Another one, PR of d at watt decibel. Again the same expression, the only change is instead of 0.001 watt, in that place we put 1 watt. Okay. Where everywhere this reference distance d naught should lies between d and df. So now the reference distance d naught for the practical systems can be considered in the range. The range of frequency utilized is 1 to 2 GHz, where 1 meter in the indoor environments and 100 meter to 1 kilometer will be the reference distance taken in the outdoor environments. So that's all in the class today.